Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are again going to revise loops as we do in our channel, like. And so before starting the video I wanted to tell you that I switched my PC to Windows 11. uh, like as you can see here, when I click on the Windows option, uh, this window opens, and when I click on the search option, this window like this opens, and all the corners are now curved instead of the that pointed corners. So comment down if you want me to make a video on like how I made it to Windows 11 and explaining other features. So let us just start. So now we learned some looping statements. So now we'll do some revision of loops. Then we'll start with operators. Okay. So what are the loops? There are three types of loops: for, while, and do while. For uh, for loop is useful when you know like how many times you have to run the loop. Like you can run this loop a limited times. Runs limited uh, limited time. Runs limited, or we can say runs for a limited time. Means you have to put a starting range and an ending range for uh, that is why for loop is used. And then while loop, like while loop we write conditions. In while loop, like we write, for example, we will ask him for entering a number until his number is 0. So like here the range is not fixed, the ending range is not fixed. Not fixed ranges. There are not fixed ranges, uh, because we don't know if his input is 0 in the first time, second time, third time. So there are not fixed ranges. It just uh, keeps looping until the ending condition gets equal. So now do while. Do while is same as while, but it has one advantage. What it is, uh, like while loop has some problem. Mm, for example, in a while loop, what happens that if our first condition is wrong, it will just uh, end the end the loop without writing anything. But if this happens in do while, it will run the whole loop at least one time. But then after that, it maybe can be ended. So this was the advantage, same as while, but on first condition wrong, it still executes the loop once. So these were the properties of the loops. So now let us just start like how to create these loops. So first start by most common loop, that is for loop. Uh, so for two brackets and two curly brackets. So now as I told you, we can declare variables anywhere in Java. So I am declaring variable inside the for loop only. So I will just name a variable named I. Uh, I can relate to index, which is the most common name used for loops. is equals to, you have to put here only one equals to, not like the if condition is double is equals to, I is equals to 0, let's say, and I less than, uh, you can write here any ending range. For example, if I write an ending range as 3, so now the for loop will run 3 times. And one more thing, we have to write the variable name, and after that put plus plus. After writing the starting range and ending range, uh, put a semicolon also. So now what is this thing? Actually this is called increment. So now what is increment? Increment means, now what will this command do? This will increase this will increase the I value by 1 every time the loop has ended. For example, if I comment this thing and here make a variable I and I set its value to 1. So now if we just simply run this program, java c loops 2.java, okay, java loops 2. Okay, so why this happened? Okay, I forgot to print the variable I. So what we can do, we can just print the variable I. Now let us just try. Yes, so now it is printing the value which is inside I, which is 1. But before printing the value, if I write I plus plus and a semicolon, so now what it will do? Can you guess it? I think you guessed right. It will show the input as 1, because before printing, it actually uh, uh, made the I value plus 1. Means 1 plus 1 is 2, as we all know. So that's why it implemented it and put the 1 back, 2 value. So this is in increment. And one more thing, if we put I minus minus, I minus minus, this will called as decrement. Means this will do exactly opposite of increment. It will decrease it by 1. And now let us just know why we are using this increment here. Because this is very important increment here. Because our i's initial value is 0 and I should end at 3, but now it needs to be added by some number so that it could reach to 3. Otherwise it will get stuck to 0 and never reach to 3. Means it will be infinite times, which we don't want. So that is why uh, increment is a very important command. After every loop end, after every time one loop end, it will make it plus 1, and it will stop all these controls when it reaches to 3. So we can run some statements inside a loop. So for example, I can print uh, I can print wise words, uh, empty vessels make more noise. Actually, I also don't know its meaning. So let us just run it. So now it is printing the wise words 4 times. So now why is this happening? We have written that the loop should end in 3. But if you see our starting range, it is 0. So in programming, counting starts from 0. But in real life, counting starts from 1. So in real life, if we count till 3, so then 1, 2, 3. 3 numbers come in between. So we thought that it will print it 3 times. But since computer also included 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So there are 4 numbers in between. So to make this 3 times, what we can do is that change our initial value. We can, if we set it to 1, then like it will be more good. It is printing the wise words 3 times. Okay, so like this was an example of for loop. So now let us just try with while loop. So now we can just do some fun with the user. So scanner sc is equals to new scanner system dot in. Yes. Uh, so what we can do, just put here some curly brackets. So we can first of all, before writing here the condition in the while loop, we will just print like enter any number. Enter any number and we will store it in a variable is equals to sc dot next int. Yes. Uh, so now, but now what will happen? Uh, you, ever you have noticed what happens of the old value? Like we will enter any number. So for example, the input is not 0. It will ask us again. So now what will happen of the old number? Well, uh, what happens is that when we enter the new number, that new number replaces with the old number. So we don't mind that here. So now let us just see if it shows us any error or not. Okay, so I didn't write the condition right here. Uh, while I not equal to 0 means until I is not 0, keep running the loop. So now why is this error coming? Cannot find symbol, it is showing an I. So why it is showing this? That is because we declared the I variable here, but we are checking for any condition with I here. But now here the I is even not declared. So now how can it find any variable named I? This means that before declaring this condition, we must declare the variable I. So remove the int keyword and we will write here int I. Uh, so it was not finding the I variable because we declare after we declare the condition. So I think it will again show an error. Variable I might not have been initialized. So now this while loop is saying that it needs some default value to start the program. If it will not have any default value, the program will just end. So we can't keep the default value as 0 because according to this condition the loop will end because we have written if the input is 0 the program will end, so we can't keep here value 0. So you can keep here 1 for example. Okay, so no error. Enter any number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So now we are confused, but if we press 0 now this happens. So not to make any confusion, I will just print. Okay, so last time I printed that we asked you to enter any number until the input was 0 using while loop. So now we are going to make the program bit advanced. So we are going to make a new variable and we will name it count. And now here we'll just write count count plus plus and semicolon. And now number of times entered number uh, and we will print the variable name count. uh, variable count might not have been initialized. Same thing we have to do. Uh, Keep the count starting value as 0, because uh, if you are thinking that why I'm not keeping the starting value as 1, because uh, here also it is starting from 0. Means if we see that we are entering some number, we are entering the number, so its real count starts from 0 only. So that's why our count variable should be start from 0 only to give us the actual count. Okay. 2 3 4, now 0. Number of times entered number 1 2 3 4, and it is giving us the clear answer 4. So this was the quick example of while. So now let's do it for do while. So do while is same as while, but it is just bit complicated to write than while. So I'm not giving an example of while because it's too late now. I have to end the video too. So I will just tell you. First of all, write the keyword do. Then put the curly brackets. And now here, after closing the curly bracket here, write while. And now don't remember to put the semicolon. When we write a while loop, we don't put semicolon, but here we put semicolon because we are writing it as a command, and we put semicolon after every command. And now we can write here any command. So guys, this was the example of each loop, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.